Hello, and welcome to Puzzlers Anonymous. I sounded so serious. It's like, hello, I've come here to meet with you today. And my name is Kevin, and I'm a puzzle addict. If my voice is sounding deep, it's because I was at a soccer game last night, and I always yell and chant and scream at those games, and the next day I have what all my friends call soccer voice. Yeah. That's the main thing going on in my life, soccer. I feel like a lot of my free time is spent just watching the World Cup, and that is a-okay because the World Cup is great. It's top level soccer, but I don't know, it's just fun, like the cultural exchange. Like, the Japanese fans always like clean up the stadium before they leave. Like the Dutch fans are like dancing in the streets. There was like the Scottish fans, there was a tweet that I thought was a joke someone sent where some guy from Scotland, they landed and they were like, I hope Boston has beer because they ran out on the plane. And now there's stories of like bars in Boston running out of beer. So I don't think I knew this stereotype that like Scottish, at least their soccer fans, drink like an ungodly amount, but apparently they do. There's also just a great all the teams, or like all the nations will do like theme songs. There's like a theme of the cup, but then all the nations will have like their official songs. And the Bosnian one, you gotta look this up. I'm not gonna play it because I'll get like copyright struck, but just look up "I am from Bosnia, take me to America." Pause the video, go watch it. It's a delight. I am from Bosnia, take me to America. I want to see Statue of Liberty. It's so good. It's my favorite song. So like that's delightful, and it's fun just to see like these wild pairings of teams. Like it was like Iraq and New Zealand, and like Haiti and Scotland. It's just like it's so cool to see like the best players from each of these countries play each other. It's just a cool event. It sucks how like fucking corporate it's become and just been taken over by the worst people in the world, but like the game's the game. You can't not love it. So that's all I've been doing, and that's fine. We'll keep this preamble short because now I do 2 puzzles a day, a week. But really, Thursdays are becoming my favorite day of the week. No joke. Which maybe means I should do these videos more. But I think the fact that I've started editing these has made it so much more fun. I thought it would be weird to watch through an entire video of me talking, but it's fun. I'm especially because like as editor Kevin, I'm kind of like roasting myself. Like I'm, pointing out when I say something completely incomprehensible from the standpoint of pronunciation, and just like catching like the dumb little references I say, or like when I say something completely false and then look it up on Wikipedia and it's just like, no, that's not true. So yeah, I spend like an hour making the video, talking to the camera, and then like 2 hours editing it, and it's such a delight. And I think also doing the Thinky Dailies makes it fun too. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm nervous about this image because, okay, we're good. I thought it was going to be a picture puzzle. There actually was a picture puzzle already. This is, through the season, and I still haven't gone back and solved it. Because a lot of times I'll do these during the work day. Like, everyone takes break. They act like, when you're working from home, they act like you gotta work 100% of the time. But when you're in the office, you go and get coffee, you chat with people, you wander around. So it's like, I don't feel bad doing a puzzle that takes me a few minutes in a side window while I'm waiting for, a download to finish that I need for something or other. But more complicated puzzles, I'm like, I don't have time to do this while working on something else. So this is an example of a picture puzzle that I was worried that today's was going to be. Where it's always just like, it's an image and you have to figure it out. It's always looking for a word, but they don't even tell you what the word, like how many letters it is. So you have to figure out everything from that. So my point is, looking at the preview image for today's puzzle, I was worried it was going to be one of these, which I would not solve on stream, but it's not. But yeah, this one, it's pretty cool, actually. I still haven't gone back and figured it out, but in some ways it's kind of obvious. There's going to be 6 letters, because you can see there's 6 broken boards here, and each has a symbol. So like this first one has that jagged top, so it's, you know, this guy, which means it's got that little thing. So that's going to be D. The first letter is D. And when I saw this, I was first like, you make the puzzles too easy these days.
You make these levels too easy nowadays.
But then, like, first letter is D. Second one, it's got this little clip here, so it's got to be this guy, so it's a spiral. Second letter is N. Oh, shit. There's no vowels in this. So, like, this on its own isn't going to be making a word. I got to figure out some other thing. And then as you get further, what's an example? Like, yeah, this one, this shape, it never shows up on any of these. But you can figure out from process of elimination that it's this board. So then it's a little squiggle. And then it's like, I don't see the squiggle on here. Is it this behind here? Maybe, but then I can't see the letter for that. So that's why I really like this one. I haven't solved it yet, but it was like they set it up to be like too easy. And it's not. I still don't know how it works. But today's is luckily not a picture one. It is going to be something with dots. But a moth-eaten bag dangles from a wooden beam. The yellowing paper shows signs of decay, but the puzzle still seems solvable. That's why I thought maybe it would be a picture one, because it's like he's looking at something there. Anywho, do I know this rule set? I don't think I do, because they explain it. A Masiu path, a variation on the popular loop genre Masiu. Draw a path from entrance to exit from some cells which visits every pearl. Maybe we have done this. Yes, the path turns on each black pearl and goes straight through the cell before and after the pearl. So that means, yeah, when it goes through a black pearl, it has to turn. It can't do this. It has to turn. But then also, on the path before and after that, it goes straight. So it also can't do this. It has to turn on the black, and then in the space after the black, it has to go straight, is what that means. And then the path goes straight through each white pearl and turns on at least one side of the pearl. So on a white pearl, it goes straight through, and then it has to turn after it on at least one. So it has to turn on one. It could turn on both. That's the rules. Let's get cracking. So yeah, I do think the black is the easiest here, because it does have to turn. And like this one here, it can't turn there, because then the one after the pearl has to go straight through a cell, and it can't do that. So we know that it has to do that. It's just the only place it can turn. And then it has to go straight before and after each of them. So boom, we're cooking already. Then this guy again, it's got to turn. So, you know, before I started filling this in, I started with this one because it was easier. On this black pearl, I was like, okay, it can't go here. Obviously. Everybody knows that. But then I was like, it could go here or here. So that's going to be tricky. But it's not tricky, because this one resolves it for us. It has to go straight because of that one, and it has to turn here because of that. And then it has to go straight here. So these both have to go straight. And then they both have to go straight through their white pearls. And then they both have to turn, because it has to turn on at least one side, and it's straight on the other side. So these have to turn. So let's resolve this one first, because it's got to turn away from the wall. And we have to get to the path here. So, like, it's not going to do that, because then just the puzzle's over. Nothing happens. It's an infinite loop. It's not going to do that because it's trapped. So we know that this is where the path starts. And now it's just a matter of continuing this one down. So this has to turn to the right, because it has to turn somewhere. Now I see how this could be a little tricky. I think I have it. I don't just want to vibe solve it. I want to solve it. But I think it has to go to the left. It has to go straight through each of these and turn before it. I think the only way to do it is to go straight down, straight across, and then this goes here. Maybe that is vibe solving, because I don't know if I can fully explain that. But here it's straight, and it turns through. Then it has to get back up to this one. Here it can do a double turn. Actually, both of these have a double turn. And then that should bring us home. Boom. Da da ba 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 ba. It's Thinky Daily solving time. I solved the Thinky Daily. Another syllable? What? This is its own puzzle. Drop in the comments what my Thinky Daily solving thing should be. Okie doke. Oops, I didn't have this preloaded. Wait. Oh no, my timer's wrong because I want the loading screen still. I just want to make sure the page is the right size. Oh, this is bad YouTubing because now I'm gonna have to readjust the screen so it fits for the crossword. Cool. Scott Hogan. No title. I recognized a writer, puzzle maker. Joe Dini. I feel like he was a recent one that I did because I drew attention to his funny name. No offense, Joe Dini, but yeah, funny name. And then I saw him on Puzzmo. That also credits their author. There was like the Puzzmo, I think it was the big puzzle, but Joe Dini popped up there. So making the rounds, Joe Dini. No loyalty to the New York Times. Let's do it. I'm seeing some long boys. Bro? This is going to be one of those tricky ones where they like don't even give you any context for it. Sit? What does it mean? Ale? Are there any in the downs, or is it just 3 themed clues? Dang it. My mouse is not the mouse's fault, it's my fault. Wow. There's only 3 themed clues. They're all long ones. They're all a single question. And I don't think there's a revealer. That's fun. All right. Where do we start on this? So we got ale and sit and bro. I want to start on sit just because it's in the middle of the puzzle. Gives it opportunities. Like pickles and some potato salads. I don't know. I like both those things. They're like vinegary. Is it vinegary? There's no way it's vinegary. I just want to check some crosses. Well, I don't know that one. Mix blank ice cream shop supply. What is mix-ins? Maybe? Is this real? Total after costs. I don't know economics. This can't be. But I don't. Ooh. Hindi's a language, and Urdu is what they speak in Pakistan, which is, it's gotta be real. I think, God, I'm gonna be so delighted if vinegary is actually the answer. I don't know why. Like, I guess that's a word. It just feels like it either shouldn't be or it shouldn't be the answer to like pickles and potato salad. But I don't know. I'm gonna be so sad when I have to delete it. Is Mix-Ins like a brand? Or is it just like, I don't know. I'm putting it. Chill way to take things. Easily. I don't know. The terrible twos for one would be a phase. Cool. Blank lion, the Penn State mascot. This isn't just like their mascot. This is like what their team is. Like, oh, but this is singular. Why do I always try to fact check the crossword? I was thinking like here in Wisconsin we got the Badgers and then the mascot is Bucky Badger, but like Badger isn't the mascot, it's like the team. But for Penn State, their team is the Nittany Lions. Like that. So I think this is, here it's cluing that their mascot is Nittany Lion. But isn't that weird? Like, they're not the Lions. They're the Nittany Lions. So now I'm kind of doubting. Now I feel like, could they really have their mascot? If they are the Nittany Lions, can their mascot really be named Nittany Lion? But it fits. It's the right amount of letters. But maybe that's what they want you to think. I'm leaving it for now. Improvise. Don't know. Bonafide numbskull. I'm so excited to see what that's going to be, but I don't know. Rose up in dialect. I don't know what that's asking. I feel like I guess dialect is like not quite slang, but it's like it's something like informal. If this were not a Thursday, would this clue be rose up informally? Or no, because they say that on Thursday. So I think it's not going to be quite informal, but it's going to be a thing that's only said in a certain place, but they're not telling us what that place is. I like it. Keeps you on your toes. And then because the up is in parentheses, it's going to be like some word with up after it means the same as rose up. We're never going to get that. I mean, we're going to get it, but not without other letters. Use at your own risk and not professional advice for 2. I think I want to say legal advice, but it says advice in there, so it's not that. Is it disclaimer? Disclaimers, because it's for 2. That's why they gave 2 examples. Kidlit character who says, it's not much of a tale, but I'm sort of attached to it. Eeyore. Did he come up last week? I feel like I had an Eeyore answer in a puzzle recently, and I kind of only do these on Thursdays. Chemical agent used to make frosted glass. I don't know, but I look forward to looking that up on Wikipedia. Non-specific response to who's there. Is it just it's me? It me, bro. It me, bro. There's got to be a more efficient way to move across this board. Occur at the same time. Not exist. It's something, but I can't think of it. Skillful move. Why did I say it like that? I also don't know what it is. Okay. Do you have anything for sit? Sit. Vision. I have no idea. But I want to keep working on one. So I'm going to keep working around it. Feminine sides. I don't even know what that would be asking or suggesting. Scott Hogan, you got me all mixed up. Rents out again. I feel like it's going to be re-lets. Because let means the same as lease. And we got letters for that. And it's doing it again. I feel like that's a straight up. We talk about crossword. That's a real, I haven't seen this in crosswords before, but that's just this is a word that would never occur in real life outside of we need it for a crossing. Like shipping that's not quite overnight. 2-day. Again, bit of a stretch. Oh, this Alfred guy with the IQ, I'm never going to know that. Gave a hand, probably aided. I feel like we can get more in that area. No, we can't, because those were long ones. Of the foot prefix, shoot. This is aren't there 2 of these? Isn't it ped or pod? Or is it that ped? Yeah, I think it's just ped. It's not that ped or pod can be foot. It's that ped can be foot or child. And that's the confusion. Because you have like doctors, you have like a podiatrist is a foot. No, pediatrist. Huh? Damn. I am having semantic disassociation. Podiatrist. Podiatrist is, that's how you pronounce it, it's P-O. I don't know the pronunciation, but P-E-D, diatrist, is a foot doctor. And then like but ped is also the prefix for child, the root for child. So like child doctor should also be PED, but because it's already taken by the foot doctor, then the child doctor has to be with an O, which is wild because like you would think, you know, more people need baby assistance than need foot assistance, but I didn't make the language. I also could have figured this out much quicker by just looking at the across. I've been to the mountaintop. Editor Kevin popping in here. First off, because I was so wrong, but also because the explanation is pretty interesting. And I'm sure everyone who has kids knew how wrong I was. So ped is the kid doctor, and pediatrician is the word I was looking for, not podiatrist. And then pod is the foot doctor, that is podiatrist. So the words actually come from two different Greek words, Greek roots, which are like sort of difficult for English speakers to pronounce, and I am not going to pronounce them correctly. So like pod is only for foot, and ped is only for child. But pod sometimes got misheard by English speakers, so we started using ped for foot as well. So in English, ped is foot or child. Pod is not foot or child, it's only foot. Okay, bye. Martin Luther King Jr. Coincide? Yeah. Skillful move. It's not going to be move. Yeah, I don't know. I want this to be center. Just based on the letters, but I don't know. I still don't know what that would mean. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be something moron. Right? I hate putting in half words. But I just, being that I have no idea what's happening in. I don't even know what I was gonna do with that sentence. Probably with. Given that I have no idea what's happening with our theme and it's long words, I feel inclined to write it in. And I feel like it's gonna be moron, right? It's bona fide numbskull. Damn, I'm a moron today. So it feels like sit is visitor center, but I don't know why. Unless they're just kind of playing with, is this like a kind of a rebus type thing? Like the center of visitor is sit. So like that's what it is. But did this guy just figure out the theme? I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. I think I did. It's gonna be like two words, and then like the word is within one of the words, and then like the phrase explains where in the word to find it. I'm calling it. This guy just figured out the theme. I think I figured out the theme. And you know what? If it turns out it's something different, I can make fun of myself later. So I'm gonna think that ale is gonna be right here. I'm not writing it in yet because I don't want to go that far off the rails. But it's gonna be some word that has. I'll put it back for now. And then something over here will explain how that goes. feel like bro is gonna be. It's gonna be like brother, and then some word that means beginning. But then it'll also be a phrase. Brother's keeper. Am I my brother's keeper? I think I've probably told this story on here before. But I just like to whenever I don't, if someone asks where someone is and I don't know where they are, I'll use the phrase like from the Bible when I don't know if it's God or Adam who asks Cain where Abel is after he kills him, but someone asks, where is Abel? And Cain says, am I my brother's keeper? So like whenever someone asks where someone is and I don't know where they are, I will say that, but like with my relationship. Am I my friend's keeper? Am I my girlfriend's keeper? And my buddy Kyle hates it so much. But I think he hates it, even though I've explained this to him before, I think he hates it because he thinks I do it when I do know where the person is, which I don't. If you ask where someone is and I know where they are, I say, oh, they're right over there. But if I don't know where they are, I say, am I my friend's keeper? And he hates it. But the best is like when I'm home for Thanksgiving and little nephew is looking for, he comes up to me, he's like, where's my dad? I'll say, am I my brother's keeper? And I actually get to say it, you know, the actual correct relationship. And I love it so much. So maybe I should do 17 just to see if it's something along those lines. But no, I got more letters down here. Traditional parka material. Probably fur, right? Yeah, I think like, do parkas have to have like fur on the hood, or like were they made completely out of fur and now they're made out of like whatever they're made out of? I don't actually know. Masters, senseis. Total after costs. Is this like, there's like profit. It's not profit. It's like what you bring in, and then I should know business. I'm almost 40. Is this just grunt? So heavy grunt. That feels wrong, but the letters fit. Hold on. Bless me. Sometimes I say that and then Gina says bless you and I'm like, it wasn't a command. Like I do it. Sorry, my alarm's going off. I'm gonna pause the video because I'm not wearing pants and I'm about to stand up. He back. I also didn't actually pause the video. I meant I'm gonna edit it later, so I really hope I remember to edit it. Follower of quick or dim is witted. Boston's mass. I don't know. I went to Boston a few years ago. I should know this. But I feel like there's a lot of things named at. What time did in fun times flew? That is such a strange way to say it, which makes it maybe wrong. Because look at this. Ooh, actually this might be right. Mind reading scan in a way. This could be, it's like an MRI. So is an fMRI a thing? I sure hope so. Because otherwise, we are in trouble. Seller stock, is this just wines? Perhaps. This is looking bad too. Next one's on me. No, it's not. I owe you. Not, that is not on me, but it's not looking bad. 1.0 GPA. You dumb. Is it F's? How would you write that? Like that? I don't think I am halfway. Thanks for the little graphic, but I don't think that's a real answer. Checking out. Eyeing. Now we're halfway. $2 coin, eh? That's a loony, baby. The A indicates that it's Canadian. Drive. Don't know. But I did figure out 54. Just looking. Sometimes when I'm thinking about a clue, I'm actually looking at the whole board. Little insider peek to how these work. A lot of times I will see an across clue and know what it is. And then when I read it later, pretend that I'm reading it for the first time. I lie to you, my viewers. Apologies if I've told this story before. This is related to I lie to you, my viewers. At Bryce Canyon National Park, which I made a whole video about, there's a story. There's a sign talking about like the local indigenous people, like their story of where the hoodoos come from. And I forget exactly what it was, but it was like, I think it was something like a coyote is like the trickster god. He like did something to trick people, and they ended up turning into hoodoos. I wish I remembered the story, but what really stuck with me, what struck me was, then there was this whole blurb that was like, this group would spend all their, the like spring, summer, fall is for, gathering food and going out and doing things. And then like winter, when things slow down, is when storytelling would happen. So there was only a certain part of the year that storytelling was happening. So to honor that tradition, and just in case you're reading this in spring or summer or fall, that story we just told you was not the authentic story. And I'm so fascinated by this like national park sign that is an unreliable narrator and tells you it's an unreliable narrator and tells you exactly why. Where it's just like, here's a story, but you're not in the group that gets to know this story, so actually the story we just told you isn't the story. It was just the coolest thing. I want like a whole like movie like that. I'm sure there's plenty. This all came from me like looking crossways at the crossword, as I was not sure what drive was, and I was kind of looking at like, what could this be? Downfall of the boy in Beautiful Boy. I don't know, but I do know that ale is fairy tale ending. So the ending of fairy tale is ale. So ale is a fairy tale ending. Drive. I want it to be something like urge, but what's with all those other letters? It could also be the verb of it. I don't know. 59, I already solved it just looking at it, but I was like, no, I want to go back and do this last theme. Argon, krypton, and xenon informally. Noble gases. Are these just nobles? Maybe. Moon of Jupiter that has a liquid ocean under its surface. I think if I didn't have the letters here and you just like stopped me in the street and said, what's the moon of Jupiter that has a liquid ocean under its surface? I'd be like, Io! But I think it's Europa, based on the letters. Absolute alternatives. So that is a vodka, as my mom or Kanye West would say. I don't know. Hermana de la Madre. So that would be your mom's brother. I know an aunt is Tia, so is this just T-O? I think it is. The blank is withered from the lake. He's talking about his fingies. My fingies is pruned. I don't know. The penis is withered from the lake. He's talking about shrinkage. Every time I upload a video, there's a little thing you have to click that says, click this if it's made for kids. I do not. Bonafide numbskull. Don't know. Big name in archery equipment. Are there like famous archery companies? I tell you what, I have a lot of hobbies that... Can I beat my own record of last week for too many tangents? I feel like I'm drawn to hobbies that draw gearheads, and I don't give a shit about gear. So it's like, I'm a big biker, and not every biker, not all bikers, but a lot of bikers, they just want to talk shop. They want to talk gear. I like trying to fix my bike as much as possible, but I don't give a shit about bikes and parts and whatever. And I feel like bass players are the same way. They always want to talk about like what like amp you have, and like it's like, I don't care, man. I just want to play bass. So one of my first D&D characters that I ever played, it was like an archer who was like that. He was an elf archer, and the whole reason he adventured and like tried to make money is just because he loved archery so much, and specifically he loved gear. So it's like we'd be, like out on an adventure, and then we'd meet other like warriors, and I'd just be like, what kind of bow is that? Oh, what string do you use on that? Where do you get your feathers? And it's like that was his whole motivation, and it was really fun to me. I'm sure it was annoying to play with, but I couldn't, despite that, I couldn't name a single archery company. Fuyumi Blank, author of the 12 Kingdoms fantasy novels. I don't think I've even heard of those fantasy novels. Colas in the Cola Wars. It's not just like Pepsi and Coke. Is this just Pepsi's? I don't know. Former Governor Schwarzenegger informally. That was so difficult to say. Is it Arnie? I know his name's Arnold, but like, what is a 5-letter nickname for him? I don't know. And I don't know the skillful move. We're not getting a lot for bro. Lit course. I don't know. But yeah, let's look at this. This is interesting because I think I'm right that this is going to be bro at the beginning, but then there's another O. So we know that this is going to be at the beginning. I like that it's beginning, middle, end. That's cool. So yeah, this is going to be something like broom or brook. And then this is going to be something with beginning. I feel like it's going to actually, see ing there. Is it actually going to be beginning? Beginning has 2 ends, right? Beginning. Oh god, this is bad. I don't know how many letters are. I don't know how to spell beginning. Am I still drunk from last night? No. Broom beginning. And it might not necessarily be beginning. It might be starting. I don't know. But I don't think I should work in this section because it's really that middle part that I need. Hack. Could be computer hacking. My keyboard's down here, but I got a pantomime up here where the camera is. Could be hack. Could be hack like a person who's not good at what they do. Soul. Could be the bottom of a shoe, but I think it's like only one. But even then, is it only or is it lone? You knew exactly what you were doing with that one, Scott Hogan. Essence. I want this to be aura. Why did you make this whole section so difficult? Here we go. Goosebumps author R.L. Stein. I feel like the letters. You ever notice the letters in Wheel of Fortune at the end? Like in the final round, when they give you the pre-populated ones, they're like the letters for R.L. Stein. Do you also ever notice that Wheel of Fortune is just Hangman, the game we used to play in elementary school? Adrenaline surge providers. I know you're wondering where the F I've been.
Know you wonder where the F been, but I'm back to life like an EpiPen.
Bit of Yahtzee equipment. Dice cup. Word rhymed with flash in A Visit from St. Nicholas, which is the actual name for the poem that people call The Night Before Christmas, is a sash. So, I think this is Stolies. I believe that is a vodka brand. So, oh yeah, You're Funny is lol. And then yeah, Prepares for Offspring is Nests. I saw that before and I refused to input it because I wanted to work on the other section. Employee after working hours on severance. Audi. I feel like we also had Audi in last week's puzzle. So we got Eeyore twice. We got Audi twice. I think that's right. What is this, man? Okay, Aura's probably wrong. Is it sense? The sense is withered from the lake? I don't know, but something's wrong. And I feel like EpiPen is right. So I'm taking Aura out. I don't even want to put sense in. It could be. It just, I don't know. It could be other things too. Ain't that just the description of every crossword puzzle? It could be, but it could be something else. What did I say last week that's like... I know there's a probability. Everything's a 50% probability. It either does happen or doesn't. I will spend 2 hours editing this video. I will not go back and rewatch another hour-long video to figure out one dumb thing I said. So if you want to do that, that's cool. Put it in the comments. But I ain't doing it. Obnoxiously blingy. I don't know. But then we're getting away from this. I don't think I have a foothold in this whole center section. Did I look at the acrosses here? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Supplier to Wiley. No, I said that right. To Wiley Coyote. Wile E. Coyote is Acme. I feel like I know I mumble, and I put so much focus on trying to say the words right that then I say more ridiculous shit. Horse with a muted coat. I don't know, but I feel confident in Arnie for Gov. So then... Horse with a muted coat is probably Roan. I know Chapel Roan, her name is like a horse thing. Like, Roan is a horse. I would never known it meant a muted coat. So then, yeah, skill move is maneuver. Lit course is ing. So we're back to where we were here. But then the N for Arnie makes me think that maybe it is beginning. But see, this, I'm never going to get this frosted glass thing. I need other letters for that. Okay, I'll say this is Pepsi's. I'll give you that. Okay, so this is opening. This has got to be obvious, right? Like, y'all are all yelling at the screen. Juniper just gave me a glance. How is this? So, let's say this is sense. I feel like that makes it worse. I guess I'm not confident in Tio, except it gives us both Nest and Audi. Bro, yeah, I feel like all of these are right. Bro, this is going to be so embarrassing when I get it. Essence. Yeah, I don't know. Well, let me just do the acrosses on the other ones. See if that gets me anything. And if not, we can do the solve protocol. Feminine sides. Gosh, I just... Sides like on a menu? What would be feminine about that? Unless it's like in a like Latin language, a Romance language that does like gendered words. What would be sides that are like specific to the ladies? Don't know that. Don't know that IQ one. That's gonna be very solvable with the solve protocol. I feel like the only thing that would fit here is melt, and I just don't know how that would fit. Net gain is total after cost. There we go. It was in that area. 1 billion years in astronomy, eon. I did not know that eon was a defined term. I thought it was just like a very long amount of time. I thought you really only used it in the poetic sense. Follower of 4 on a love note. Ever. Forever. Start of a selection process. Oh, this is the one I saw forever ago and knew the answer, but wanted to pretend I didn't read it. Eenie, meenie, miny mo. They might be seeded. Rise. Is that like a rye whiskey? I don't know. I just know like rye is... Like maybe they're talking about seeding the plant. I saw like a wheated whiskey the other day. Either way. Whether this is talking about planting rye or some sort of Oh no, it's the bread, right? You can make a rye bread with seeds in it. That's what it means. Of course, I go to booze first. Masters is gurus. It's so funny when something like vodka, it's like, oh, I don't know vodka, but like I know whiskey and gin. It's like it's not like I don't drink or know booze. I only know the booze I like. Boston is Mass Ave. Yellow green sodas are dews, informally Mountain Dews. Okay, so I think the 1.0 GPA is D. It has to be because 62 Cross is Bob Seger. I knew that all along. So, drive is hunger. What is middle-age? Oh! Apologies if you were yelling this forever. The $2 coin isn't... It's not the loony, it's the toonie, baby! Loonies and toonies. So the downfall of the boy in that is meth, which is much funnier. I really like Tyler Childers. I was just telling Josh about him. He's like a country singer, but he's got more into like rock stuff. But I think he's so witty. He just has like these really funny lines, and he also talks about like drinking and drugs quite a bit. I feel like he talks a lot about doing cocaine, but he has a line where he's talking about his friend doing lean, which I guess is like it's something with cough syrup. I don't know drugs, but I know I'm certain about. But it's some sort of it's a downer, and he says it sounds like a drag. Talking about lean, it sounds like a drag. I like my drugs methy, which is like. It's funny because it sounds like he's saying messy with a lisp, but it's like it's methy. And I don't think he's saying he likes to do meth. I mean, based on his other songs, he likes to do cocaine, but that's also a stimulant. So it's like he likes his drugs in the category of meth, which is amphetamines. So he likes it methy, and that just cracks me up. I think it's so clever. As you know, I like marijuana, but I hate stoner culture. I think talking about drugs is so boring. I like doing the one drug that I do. I guess two. Alcohol is a drug. I enjoy those. It's just like I don't think there's anything new or interesting to say about drugs or the process of doing drugs. I feel like it's a very like personal experience. You just like you get high and you do your own thing. So like when someone can say something new or interesting or clever about drugs, it's like good on you. I still don't know this one. I think we're pretty close to the soft protocol. Chill way to take things is in stride. Things get tossed in a bin. I don't think I ever looked at that clue before. Okay, we're gonna do one more through all of these and just see if we can get anything. Bonafide numbskull. I still feel good about moron. Don't feel good about this. Don't know that one. Improvise. Invent? No. The end's in the wrong place. Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be very searchable. That's rose up in dialect, like reared up. This is past tense. Reared up. I don't know. Hack. Oh, maybe this is chop. And I got the E now, so soul is lone. So Fiomi Ono. That sounds like a name. Essence. Don't know. Noxiously blingy, don't know, but now we got this. Bonafide numbskull. Still don't know. And I don't know the archery. Damn! Chop alone got us nothing. Okay. Initiate the solid protocol. Let's go. I still don't quite know what I would look up in this region, though. Oh, yeah, our chemical agent. I mean, that's only going to get us one thing. But I'm not going to search for chemical agent. I'm not going to do the thing where you just type in the clue. I'm going to look for frosted glass, and I'm going to see what I can figure out about its production. Sandblasting, acid etching. It's going to be the acid etching. How is that done? Maybe I have to go into etching. Do y'all remember like Wikipedia races? It's like you start at one point, one word, and you have to get to another word or concept. And there's two ways to do it. You can either do it least clicks or least amount of times, but you have to go through other articles to find it. I remember during the pandemic, I think it was Garrett and Abby. It was one of my couple of friends. It was either Garrett and Abby or it was Cody and Shar, but I think it was Garrett and Abby. Even though I said the names 3 times, there's only one mention because it's one story. They like texted me and they're like, we're doing a Wikipedia war and it has to be neutral, so you have to tell us what, like you have to give us the concepts. And I thought that was very fun. Yeah. I'm looking for something like that. We got hexafluoric acid, sodium fluoride, frost etching. Yeah, is that, it was frosted glass. Yeah, it's that one. Gosh. This shouldn't be as hard as it is. This is like the one objective one. Okay, maybe I am just going to do chemical for frosted glass. Even though, yeah, I'm totally just doing the coward's route. Yeah, see, look at this. Just the one right there. There we go. I don't want to do that. I'm not clicking that one. I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
If I can't find it even with the solve protocol, we're fucked. Let's do this. I'm going to like, let's say I'm trying to buy a bow. Bow and arrow. Do you think Farm and Fleet's going to come up? Well, let's go to the Bass Pro Shop. What do they got? And we're going to find a brand that has 4 letters and starts with an H-O. No, Bass Pro Shop, you can't have my location, and you can't have my cookies either. Okay, good. I got a preset. Bowtech, Phase, Vista. I bet that one's going to be another trick. It's going to be like Robin Hood. Is it just Hood? Big name. No, because it would be equipment. I don't know. I think I might actually have to just go to Deb. Deb's retired. Who's the new Deb? This is a good chance to find out. Okay. Let's get Sean. Let's get Sean involved. Whoa. They really... Did I click the wrong thing? Oh, I clicked the wordplay title. That's cool. It shows like all the different things that it can help you with. And ads. I gotta block these ads when I do the video. Okay, yeah. We got the theme. Nice touch, Mr. Hogan. The first is an opening, the middle one, a center, the final one, an ending. Nice touch, Mr. Hogan. I agree. Okay. 14A, Audi, we already got that. Toonie, we already got. Here we go. Etchant. I probably could have filled that in. The chemical agent used is an etchant, a word that I wasn't familiar with. Girl, same. But that appeared in the Times Crossword before, though not since 2012. Thought it was E.T. Chant, which I would clue as a positive crowd reaction to 1982 Spielberg hit E.T. 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 I just, next time I see a movie I really enjoy, I'm gonna chant at the end because of Sean. Man, I mean, I knew that. I knew this was gonna be an ish. I probably could have put that in. I probably could have done that without the solve protocol, because this is probably garish, right? Obnoxiously blingy is garish. So then what would this be? Is this like, it's in dialect? Is this roared up, just like with an O? I don't know. Improvise. Yeah. I think we got to keep going. Back to Sean. Give us more help. Solid pedal labyrinth that's also found in word like pedestrian pedal, and interesting though a bit indirectly expedient. We got the Nittany. We're confident in that. Okay, yeah, nothing there. Okay, I haven't done this in a long time. But but we're going to go to the answer key. But what we're going to do for the answer key is we're going to try to not just see the answer. I'm going to try to like clue on it on just one. So I want to see what the moron is. I got more letters on this. Class A moron. Hey, there we go. So essence. Let's say that it's not sense. I didn't feel confident in that. Essence. What if this is 3 letters? Like letters, words, like broom, something opening, can opening, brook, can opening, day opening. I don't know. Okay, we got class A moron. Can get anything with essence. No, I just gotta do it. I've been at this for 42 minutes, and that's also with the Thinky Daily. I just gotta Broadway opening. So Tia. This was wrong the whole time. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what's embarrassing about that? Because I knew the A versus O thing, because I was like, oh, it's not Tia, it's T-O. But the A's right there. I didn't read the clue good enough. Oh, Broadway opening. Okay, so this is... The sedge is withered by the lake. I'll take it. Sedge is like a type of grass. I learned that from my yard work era. So essence is just... I'm just going to believe that Hoyt is... No, you know what? We already did the solve protocol. So let's look at this. And Hoyt bow. Or do they do... Yeah, Hoyt archery. I'll do free advertising for Hoyt. That is some fancy looking bow stuff. If like an old like English warrior with a long bow, if he saw this, he'd shit. Improvises wing it. And now we're still back here with just no idea what's happening on either of these. Animas is feminine sides, and rose up is rared up. Yeah, you know I did, but I had a cheat. What is an anima? Anima and animus are a pair of twin concepts developed by Carl Jung, which inform the human psyche and Jungian psychology. Jung describes the animus as the unconscious masculine side of a woman and the anima as the unconscious feminine side of a man. This keeps happening. I think I have to learn psychology. We keep getting these Jungian and Freudian things. I think it might be time. Right after I learned the Greek alphabet, so fucking never. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye.